everyone, and welcome to another episode of Connor and Taff. There we are. We're just coming up with a new name. Getting rid of Ithics, Connor and Taff. So yeah, we'll rebrand Connor and Taff. Why not? We've just talked about it. We'll do that. So that's what we'll do from now. Anyway, we're here to talk about Sunderland. We're here to talk about the World Cup. Taff, how you feeling? That is a very dandy shirt you've got on there.
It is the French master, Régis Lebris, set to become our greatest manager since someone kicked a ball in the net at Wembley. No, actually, that was quite recent, wasn't it? Several times recently, actually. So, yeah. Too many victories. It's all too good these days. Yeah. This is our RLBT. Yeah. Hey, there we go. And you know where you can get one, people. For the summer, go get yourself one. I do think, you said this, the white is better, perhaps. I'm loath to say this. Somebody asked me for a print. Can you put Régis on the back and have a plain front? And I did it for them. But I don't want everyone to ask me for that.
No, well, we could just start producing them that way.
If people want one, they can ask for one. But when you go on holiday, if you can get through the European visa system set to be chaotic, if you go on holiday, you want to display this to everybody, don't you? Particularly if you go to France for our pre-season friendlies. Yeah, they would. They say, Le Brice, entree. I was speaking to some French people, very drunk one evening the other week. Neither of them had the.
You were drunk.
Yeah. Neither of them had an absolute Danny who Régis Lebris was. They don't have a clue.
Football fans.
No, they supported Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, might explain
Look,
it.
he's currently, is he not? Is he not currently the best French manager in the planet? Unless Deschamps wins the World Cup, then it would have to be him.
Yeah, well, and Zidane, who, I don't know if he's going to get a job.
He doesn't manage anybody at the minute. In fact, his son plays for Algeria, so you're probably watching them. Yeah. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did know that.
He plays in goal.
But you're the one who knows all the international football, which is why we're here today.
That's why we're here. Yeah.
So what are we talking about, Taff?
We're talking about the World Cup and Sunderland players at the World Cup. If you saw the thumbnail, then you already know that. And I'm going to take you through who's playing what, where they're going to be, and the likelihood of them making the first knockout round, which is I think it's a round of 32, is it? Yeah, it's a round of 32, then the round of 16, then the quarters, then the semis. So that's what I'm going to take you through. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to show you. This is the best place. I've had a look at lots of these. If you go to FOTMob and look on the World Cup tab, they've got the best placed thing that you can see all of the World Cup, and this is the knockout. But there are a fat stack of groups in the tournament. So there are 12 groups with endless games. I could zoom in, yeah. Oh, that's better, isn't it?
Yeah,
that just about fits. So, yeah, we've got 12 groups. I'm not going to show everyone like this. We've got 12 groups in the World Cup with endless preliminary games, therefore. And rather like the reflection of the modern world. Does it work? Oh, yeah, that works too. This is your best layout for the whole of the World Cup. FOTMob, it's very good. They don't sponsor us at all, but if they feel like giving us anything at all. I mean, what could they give me? A VPN? I don't know. Probably couldn't give me anything. So everybody, just like the modern world, everybody qualifies for the next round, pretty much. Medals for all. That's what it's like. So obviously, the traditional sense of first and second will qualify from each group. But also, of the 12 groups, 8 of the 12 third-place teams will qualify. And I think there's a decent chance that all of our players get out of the group and get into the round of 32. And we can go down rabbit holes about who would they play in that round of 16. But I think we'll save that for, updates later on, because we plan to do regular updates on our players, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
As the World Cup kicks off. Jolly good. So I thought before the World Cup kicked off, I'd sort of tell you where our players are, who they're playing against, and what we rate their chances are of getting out the group and what they all have to do. But before we begin, Connor, I have a little quiz for you to test your World Cup knowledge.
I don't like this. I'm not going to be good at a World Cup quiz.
I have given you no warning. No. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I had to do quizzes from your crossword book, didn't I?
That's
so,
true.
yes, you can do my World Cup quiz. Jolly good. Now, where is my document?
The problem with quizzes on a public forum like this is that the whole world can see you get an answer wrong. And if you ask a question like, who won the World Cup in...
Think of it as a public service. If you do poorly here, the viewers will think they are better than you, and they will like you for that. True. They will like you for that. But they can join in too. They can see how they do. So how many points do you get? There are 8 points on offer here. No. There are 8 points on offer here, Connor. 8 points. Okay. If you rank these teams in the correct order, I'm going to give you 4 teams, and I want you to tell me what I want you to rank them in order of FIFA world rankings. Okay, from highest to lowest. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to say France, Spain, Germany, Argentina. And I would like you to rank them. I mean, we've got a lot of World Cups in there. No Brazil, though. No Brazil.
So is this current FIFA World Rankings?
Current FIFA World Rankings. And these are I'm only picking teams who are at the World Cup. Obviously, they tend, unlike Italy, to make every World Cup, these teams, don't they? Have these teams ever missed a World Cup? I'm not sure they have. So that's what I want you to do. France, Spain, Germany, and Argentina. I want you to rank them from highest to lowest. Would you like me just to pop that on the screen for you so you can see? Yeah, maybe the viewers can see.
Fish memories.
Sorry for my enormous typing again. All right, let me make these larger. There we go. I'm sure we can. People will be able to see this then.
You'll be able to see it when you put it on the screen.
I will. I'm going to share it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So let's stop sharing that and let's share the other screen so that people can see. There we go. Now, here we are. From this, what do you think? Can you rank them highest to lowest in terms of current FIFA World Rankings?
Right,
off you go, Connor. Show us how good you are.
Spain are number 1. I think.
So you are going to go. You're going to go. You're going to go 1.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Germany is 4.
Germany 4.
Yeah, I'm going to say Argentina are 3.
Yeah.
France are 2.
France are 2. Okay. So if we were to put those into correct order, then you would get 2 points out of those 4.
Okay.
Because the correct order is France, Spain, Argentina, Germany. Oh. So you just got France and Spain the wrong way around. Yeah. And France are first, ranked number 1 in the world. Spain are ranked 2. Argentina are, in fact, ranked 3, bang on. And Germany are ranked 10th. There you go. Okay.
Not good.
Very good. 2 points out of 4. It's not a bad start, Connor. But I have to say that the second half here is a bit more difficult. Here. So what I want you to do here is I want you to rank the 4 lowest placed teams that have qualified for the World Cup. Okay?
Okay.
The 4 lowest placed teams.
I've shared the lowest ranked team was 91st.
You're sure, are you?
I read something about that the other day.
Okay, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Here are the 4 lowest ranked teams in the World Cup. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't have the lowest ranked team. as being 91st. If it is, I've missed somebody, and I'm going to look the foolish one here. But that's not my question. That's not my question.
Yeah.
My question is, out of these 4 teams, rank them from highest ranking to lowest ranking.
I mean,
it is difficult.
I think the smallest nation there is Curacao. They're Dick Advocaat's team. But they also don't have any players that are from there. They're all Dutch and stuff, aren't they? They're all fiddling the rules to get there. But they've never qualified for anything until now. I don't feel like Haiti or Uzbekistan have. I feel like Iran have before, so I'm going to rank them the highest.
You're going to rank Iran as the highest here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I feel like it'd be Uzbekistan second.
Keep going, sir.
Then Haiti, we'll go Isidor's Haiti third.
Uh-huh.
And
Curacao, obviously, fourth.
Taith Chong is the most notable player.
Taith Chong. Wow. Well, here you have another 2 points, sir, which is very impressive, I would say. 4 points out of 8, and you were very close. The only thing you got wrong is to misrank Haiti and Curacao. In fact, and it's very close. Curacao at 82nd and Haiti at 83rd. So that was tough. So the other way round for those two, Iran are actually ranked 21st in the world. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And Uzbekistan 50th.
High, to be fair.
Yeah, and Uzbekistan are ranked 50th. There, that was a bit of fun. 4 points from 8. Can the viewers do any better there?
I want to see what the FIFA World Rankings are so I can see if you're right or wrong.
Just believe me. It's easier that way. In the meantime, I am going to take us through the various players and what groups they're in. I'm going to tell you what they need and who we've got all over the place. So if I go back to our FOTMOB World Cup fixture list and share this with you. There we are. I don't plan to look at it by this. If I go onto fixtures, I can do the fixtures by group. So instead of doing it by round, I can do it by group. If I zoom out here a little bit, you can do table, which shows you how the tables are going to form. And then you can do the knockout rounds, which shows you that will all fill. But in actual fact, what I want the fixtures by group, because we're just going to focus on that for the minute. And I can tell you, let me zoom that. Do I need to zoom that back in again? No, not really. I can tell you that in our group, where is my document? There it is. In the group, we've got our first group is not Group A. Our first player from our first team is in Group B. Stay in the browser. It's in Group B. And I'll change this to Group B. What team do we think it is? It's our number 1 player. It's Granit Xhaka. Those are the 4 teams in Canada, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Qatar, and Switzerland. And Xhaka's Switzerland are very solid, very difficult to beat. And I liked in the transfer one of their players who I thought we might like to get, but we won't do. Agent Xhaka needs to try and drag him home with us if he can. But Qatar are 55th, Bosnia 65th, and Canada 30th, ranked in the world, and Xhaka's Switzerland in 19th. So Xhaka really should be looking to top this group. And I think that should be no problem for them, I would imagine. I can't really see Canada and Bosnia-Herzegovina giving them too many problems. Can you? They'll be competent, but I don't think they're good enough.
Qatar will be the walkover of the group.
You would think so, and it'll be interesting to see how teams manage both the heat and the who chooses to play and where they play their first team or not. So, but
I suppose the only other thing to note here is Canada or a home team. Does that make an impact? Because
maybe their home teams generally do well in the group. They generally get out of the group, but really, in order to get out of this group, you just got to beat Qatar. If you win one game with 3 points, that should be enough to be the top 8 out of 12, you would think. The other 4 might be...
4 points you should get through. I think if you get 4 points, you'll be through.
Definitely, but I think 3 points might be enough. But if Bosnia, if Bosnia Canada play out a draw and then they both beat Qatar, then those 3 get through, and Switzerland win the group. So it's not as difficult as you imagine. So that's a pretty straightforward group. We should expect to see Xhaka top the group in the second round, and then they will get to play somebody easier in the round of 32. And then the next one, in terms of Sunderland, it's a bit of a group of death because we have Morocco and Haiti. Wilson Isidor's Haiti. Yeah. Now, we've seen Morocco. They were the first team to lose and then win AFCON in the same final, which was incredible to see. And Talbi didn't really play very much. He's only really got into the team in the last 18 months. He tends to come on as a substitute. Interestingly, they played 2 days ago, and I think they changed 8 players at halftime, and Talbi wasn't even on the bench. He wasn't even selected. Yeah, he is, but he's still made their squad. So I don't know how much. Maybe they were just protecting him. I don't know how close to fitness he is, but he wouldn't usually expect to be a regular starter anyway. He actually, the last game they played, I watched not long ago, in the last international break, was against Alderete's Paraguay. And when Talbi came on as a substitute, he quite transformed Morocco. So I think his stock is rising there. And he played really well when he came on against them, but so did Alderete, actually. But more of that shortly. So Morocco, pretty good there, but they got a really tough opening game against Brazil. Brazil ranked 6th. Morocco are ranked 8th, and they're no mugs. They've got a pretty talented forward line. They can sometimes be a bit naive defensively and in their sort of rest defense, and Brazil will take advantage of that, I suspect. So tough opening game, but they have to, if they beat Haiti and Scotland, which you would expect Morocco to do, then they'll go through comfortably, and they've got a decent squad to go far in the competition. You don't get to win AFCON from having been declared the loser unless you're any good at football. And so what does this mean for what does this mean for Wilson Isidor's Haiti? Well, like I said before, playing Brazil and Morocco, the 6th and 8th ranked team in the world, they're not going to get very far. I've watched 2 of their games in the last week, and they're actually a better side than you think. They're a better side than that 83rd ranking. Are they the lowest team in the tournament, by the way?
No, the
83?
lowest ranked team in the tournament's New Zealand.
Oh! I've watched them too. They are truly appalling. They're truly appalling.
1-0 off England the other day. So.
That's true. I saw them in the game before that. I think they lost 4-0 or 4. It was disgracefully bad, which reflects something on England's performance, but none of that today. So I think Haiti are better than their ranking. They, it might have actually been. Was it them who beat New Zealand? I can't remember who they beat. I watched the game.
I think it was.
Yeah, we go to their fixtures. They beat. Yeah, they did. They beat New Zealand 4-0, and they were great that game. They played Peru, and in fact, they were beating Peru. I watched that game as well. They were beating Peru 1-0. They changed a lot of their fixtures and their teams, and Peru scored 2 goals in the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes to claw victory. Peru didn't necessarily deserve it. They had a lot of the ball, but were not very incisive. They've got a captain. Haiti's captain is their goalkeeper, who's a bit of a card. But they're a decent side, and I think they might surprise a few teams. Clearly, the crucial game, if you want to get out of the group, is the game against Scotland in 6 days' time.
Scotland are a decent.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got like Scott McTominay.
You're right. And they won 4-0 as well. So there are 2 teams here in some form. Like I say, Haiti were unlucky to lose to Peru the other night. So I mean, that's the crunch game for Haiti. Got to beat Scotland. Will they be more used to the heat? Probably not. But they will have a massive home following. Because I think they're playing down in Miami or somewhere, but there's a lot of Haitians over there, more than there will be Scots. So they'll have a massive backing from the crowd, and it's their crunch game. They know it. If they want to get out the group, then the 14th of June, 6 days' time, is when they're going to do it, and it has to be by winning that Scotland game. So that, I think, is the first big game of interest for Sunderland fans. Haiti, Scotland.
Yeah,
I think they'll do it. I think they'll beat Scotland.
I don't think they'll beat Scotland. I quite fancy Scotland's chances. But what I would say is I feel like Wilson Isidore will thrive in this sort of scenario where he's the underdog.
He scored in both games.
Space in behind.
Yeah. He scored in both games. He scored. He only played the first 45 minutes against New Zealand and scored a goal, and then they went on the rampage after that. So they have goals elsewhere in the team. Bellegarde plays up front for them. So yeah, and in the second game he came on as a substitute in the second half and scored again in sort of typical Wilson Isidore type goals. So I think Haiti might give Scotland a tough time, and that's the game they have to win. If they don't win that game, they're not getting out of this group, and then it'll be a question of who concedes the most to get third place, I think. So that's the first crucial game from a Sunderland point of view. Haiti against Scotland on the 14th of June, 6 days' time, or when this video comes out, probably less than a week, probably 4 days. Yeah. Okay, and then we move on to our next group, which is Group D, for our next Sunderland player, and this features the home nation and the Wall of Assumption, Omar Alderete. You look at this group here, and again, I think that this is a group. It's actually a pretty tough group. You'd look at that and think Paraguay should get second there and maybe get out. No, but it's quite a tough group. They are. In fact, Paraguay are the lowest ranked team in this group, ranked 40th. A full 19 places behind Iran.
I feel like the USA have been awful, like since Pochettino's went in. I feel like the whole rhetoric.
Yeah, but now Sunderland's new star signing Ricardo Pepi is back scoring goals. So now I watched the USA play the other day against Senegal, and that was a wild game with no discipline from either side. There were goals all over the place, and the USA even had a disallowed goal. Senegal's defending was appalling. It was absolutely shocking. I'd be really annoyed if I was their coach. It was wide open all the way, and both teams were just trying to attack. And it was in the middle of the heat as well. So it was a completely daft game. But we'll talk about Diarra in a moment. But the USA showed some real attacking intent there, and they did again the other night when they equalised against. I can't remember who they lost only 2-1 to Germany. It was it was 1-1 for a period of time with a spectacular American goal. So, like you said about Canada, America will have the crowd behind them. There you go. They have the crowd behind them. The crowd won't know what the hell is going on in this sport, and they will they will do quite well because all home nations tend to do quite well at the very start. So that first game for Alderete in Paraguay is going to be tough because you're playing the home nation who are going to be up for it, and they're going to give probably their best performance against Paraguay. But Paraguay are a notoriously resilient side defensively. They're magnificent defensively. They don't tend to win games by big margins. It's by the odd goal. But last year, I think it was last year, they did beat Brazil in the qualification process for the World Cup. And I think they beat Brazil in Brazil. I'm not sure, but they did beat them. And Alderete scored the first goal in that game. It was 2-1 to Paraguay, I think, and Alderete scored in that. And he does come up with several crucial goals. I remember you saying at the start of the season we were supposed to be signing a goal-scoring centre-half, and he is. He's an absolute hero for Paraguay. He has got them out of a hole time after time with late goals, popping up at the back stick, just like he did for us at Forest. And we haven't seen enough of that. Partly because we insist on throwing it to Dan Ballard on the edge of the 6-yard box, who just gets marked out of the game. So I'd like to see us use more of Alderete ghosting in on the back post, because he does that a lot. Don't be surprised to see him doing that. He scored a leveller against Morocco a couple of months ago in the last international break, and took a bit of a kicking from the Moroccan players who felt like he fouled the goalkeeper on a follow through. The sort of thing that Mukiele had his goal disallowed for, if you recall. So difficult game for Paraguay. And in fact, as the bottom ranked team here, USA ranked 16th, Australia ranked 27th. I don't know much about Australia, to be fair, and Turkey ranked 22nd. So difficult. I think if you are Alderete and if you're a defensively resilient side, it's somewhat of a home fixture for you playing in America. You'll have good support there. You've got to, as Alderete, you've got to be targeting second in that group. Australia and Turkey, sure, they might be like 10, 12 places above you, but you've got to look at them and say, well, we can beat, 2 of these teams if we play well. That's what you've got to be thinking. So they've got to be targeting second in that group, I think. And if they don't get second, they surely qualify as one of the best ranked 8 out of 12 third place teams. But they'll have to play something difficult after that, and they don't really want to. So tough stuff there. And that opening game, I think, will be quite interesting on the 13th, which is the day before the crucial Wilson Isidore Haiti-Scotland game. So there's lots to watch here. I wasn't going to be interested, but I am. I'm thoroughly ready for it. Yeah, I am. I'm very excited about it all now, particularly because we've got so many players there. Off to Group E then. And in Group E, we meet 2 teams with representatives for Sunderland. We've got Nilson Angulo for Ecuador, and we've got Simon Adingra for Cote d'Ivoire. He's fought his way back into the side, having been dropped for the entire AFCON tournament because he couldn't get a game for Sunderland. He's been on loan to Monaco. He's done well there, and he's got himself back into the team, and in fact started for the Ivory Coast the other night. So he's back in favour, playing on the left wing. I expect him to start, and I expect him to play for them. Amad Diallo, by the way, scored a very late winner for them. They were playing France the other night, and they were utterly under the cosh for the second half. I think it was 1-1, and France were pressing for a winner, and they just brought on like 6 substitutes in the midfield and the attack, and they were all absolute dynamite. Dembele comes off the bench and stuff like that. You just think, good God, this French side are absolutely stacked. And in typical Diallo fashion, they were under the cosh time and again, desperate defending, but they were quite resilient. And then a breakaway a few minutes from time, and who races clear to slot the ball in, but Amad Diallo. So we've seen him do that many times before. So they had a well-deserved victory. That'll give them a great boost. But it's a tough group. Ecuador are no mugs. I think they are on a streak of 18 games unbeaten. They have a supreme defence. Of course, John Lukumi plays for them at centre-half. I don't think we'll be back in for him this summer, but he was clearly... the club were clearly of the opinion he's good enough to play in the Premier League. Other people looked at him. He may get a Premier League move this summer, but I don't think it'll be to us. And they also have Hincapié, the Arsenal flying fullback who plays for them, and Angulo plays in front of him. And they've also got Caicedo, who sits in front of that back four. So they are super solid defensively. They're not very exciting going forward, but defensively they don't concede much, and they haven't lost for 18 games in a row, I think. So Ecuador are no mugs, and these will be interesting games. I think this is, if you discount Curacao, this is a really interesting group. And that game between Ivory Coast and Ecuador is crucial, probably, for who comes second there. But I wouldn't put it past these teams to give Germany some difficulty. Ivory Coast have flair, Ecuador are tough to break down, and Germany are, ranked 10th, which is pretty low for them going into a World Cup. So I'm not saying they're both going to beat Germany, but I don't think Germany are the super force that we always expect. They do know tournament football, but we shall see. I'm utterly discounting Curacao here. Sorry, but it's an interesting group, this. Nilson Angulo came on the other day as a substitute. He is normally a starter for them and has played well for them. He plays normally in front of Hincapié. But he came on the other day and he played on the right wing, or sort of drifting into the centre. And weirdly, this is in the second half, weirdly Hincapié was playing as a winger up top. So that both of those players came on the second half, and they were messing about with their team. They had a fat stack of substitutes. They were playing, I think, Guatemala, and it was a fairly easy game for them. So I'm not sure we'll know what they do, but tough group and interesting.
While we're here with Ivory Coast, should we mention Jocelyn Talbi?
Yeah, I mean, you want to tell people what he's been at the Maurice Ravello tournament, which happens every summer, and it has invited nations. Sorry?
So that was the Toulon tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's been Maurice Ravello for 2 or 3 years now, but it is the tournament, and they have invited nations from around the world. It's lots of talent scouts go there to see who the next big things are, and often the player who does best in that tournament does go on to become a bit of a footballing star. And Talbi is currently the player of the tournament there. I think 4 games, He scored 4 goals, had 2 Man of the Match awards. He's the player of the tournament.
I wasn't that. Oh, I can't remember his name. There's a commentator though, an English commentator who's over there who was saying that Sunderland fans would be excited about this guy. Wow, so
they've got a player on their hands.
If you look at where Sunderland are in terms of their squad, if Talbi can be the, an option there, we only paid like £3 million for it.
It is. Well, that's why that's why in my transfer video I only had one big money attacking right winger. I'm making the assumption we don't keep Traore because I am happy to have Talbi get some game time and be the up and coming player. I'm happy to have him as the second winger there, and we have Angulo and Talbi fighting it out on the left. But we need to do the big money right wing signing, and I think that those two take care of themselves in that fashion. So that's why I only bought one of them. Yeah, well, we shall see. Yeah, well, that's Group E. We're nearly there now, but if we move on to the next Group F, this is where we find the Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. Looks like a difficult group, but the Dutch are ranked 7th in the world, Japan 18th, Sweden 38th, and Tunisia 34th. So really the only threat here in terms of rankings for the Dutch and for all of our players, which now include 3, not 2, because today Geertruida was called up to the Dutch squad to replace the not fit from injury Jurien Timber. So he makes the squad. He's already there. I think everyone knew that he was going along with him. So we now have 3 players. And I don't know. I mean, if he has a barnstormer of a tournament and we still don't want to pay his wages to have him be a rotation player, do we sign him and then sell him for a profit straight away? I mean, yeah, that has happened before. I think this is a fairly straightforward group for them, but I wouldn't underestimate Japan. Remember, I wanted to sign Keisho Sano for our midfield. He's a terrific player, and they have real quality in their midfield, Japan. So I think they'll be, if you give them space and time on the ball, they will create chances. So I would expect the Dutch to top this group. They really should do, but they cannot underestimate Japan. Now, in the summer, it is baking hot in Japan. It's so hot that you can't sort of exist out there without aircon. So the Japanese will be far better suited to the heat and playing than the Dutch will be. So I think that will be an interesting game. I think the winner of that first game is tops the group. I know there's some quality players for Sweden. Is it Bergvall play for them, and Isak and not Elanga? He's not quality, but he does play for them. But they are. I've been watching a bit of them. They have been disappointing in their warm-up games so far. Of course, you know who their manager is, don't you?
Graham Potter.
It is Graham Potter, yeah. And they have been poor in their warm-up games. And I'll be honest with you, they've been very disappointing. And if that's how they play in the tournament, they won't get anywhere at all, really. And I think the team I know least about here is Tunisia.
Question.
Yeah.
My question is how likely is it that I mean, I know Roefs is second choice goalkeeper, but how likely is it that Brobbey actually plays meaningful minutes?
I think it depends. So Roefs came on second half the other night for his international debut and let a goal in, but it was an absolute screamer from an Algerian winger who we might have been linked with actually briefly, but it was a terrific goal from the right wing. I can't remember who scored it, but it was tremendous. You can have a look now if you like who scored that goal against the Dutch the other night. I think we've been linked with him. He certainly will be having a move this summer to someone. So Roefs came on, had made his debut. He's going to be second choice. I think starting tonight. Verbruggen is starting tonight. Or will it be yesterday?
So Anis Haj Musa, the guy from Feyenoord. I think it's Feyenoord.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Interestingly, the other player we linked with from Algeria, Tratawi, they made, I think, 8 substitutions, Algeria, in the second half, and he sat on the bench. He wasn't one of them. Now, I don't know why that is. I don't know if he's just not fancied or if he's just too young or they were just guarding him. But we had sort of 15, 16 players get on the pitch, and he wasn't one of them. So I don't know what that says about him. Eyes peeled, but I don't know where we see them. So I think the Sweden were very poor. I don't know much about Tunisia. Don't underestimate Japan. Brobbey, he didn't start. He came on for the second half of the first warm-up game, and he played all right. And he came on for the last 3 minutes of the second game, but only because the Dutch were losing late on. And I forget his name now. Who's the blonde-haired free kick centre-half cheating Dutch player? Who's their manager? Remember, he scored that goal against England over the wall. Everyone knew he was going to do it, and he sort of cheated earlier. He should have been sent off. Ronald Koeman. Yeah, Koeman's the manager.
Oh, that's before my time. But yes, Ronald Koeman.
What do you mean? So in desperation, he threw Brobbey on for the last 3 minutes. So he's not really had the chance in a game where ball gets up to him. And in truth, he probably won't be a starting forward for them. It'll be Marlon. And I think the other night they even put on who's that useless lump who was on loan at Man United, and then they loaned from Brighton. Do you remember?
Lump on loan at Man United from Brighton.
Yeah, useless lump of a forward. Yeah, he is. I can't remember his name now. I'll get to it.
Weghorst. He was on loan from
Weghorst came on as a substitute ahead of Brobbey. And they got Doniel Marlon, and I can't remember who else up front. But watching their games, Brobbey's going to be a reserve striker. But, an injury to one of them, the Dutch go far, and Brobbey ends up having to play. Like Jeff Hurst did in '66. He was not the starting striker then. And he ended up playing instead of Greaves, didn't he? So Brobbey comes on, scores the winner in the final for the Dutch to take the tournament, and we have a £50 million superstar on our hands who loves us. The Dutch, by the way, are my tip for the tournament. I mean, obviously France are amazing, but you don't want to bet on, if you are a betting man, you want to get somebody with some odds. So the Dutch are the. So, Portugal, questions to answer there. Well, let's get to Portugal now, shall we? Because they're in my next group. They are in the same group as DR Congo, and the opening game is against Portugal. Now, Colombia, decent side, ranked 13th in the world. So we would assume that they'd beat Uzbekistan. So really, it's a question, if DR Congo want to go through in the top two positions, it's who can they beat, Portugal or Colombia? But Portugal are ranked, where are we now? Portugal are ranked 6th and Colombia ranked 13th. So this is a tough task for a Congo who are ranked 46th. Now, they're a good side. They're better than 46th, but they're more of a solid side. They lack flair, and they work hard, they keep the ball, and they defend well. They don't let many chances in, but they don't create many chances as well. And then you look at the likes of Portugal, and I think they played their warm-up game, their last warm-up game the other night, and Ronaldo still started the first half for them. And is it Schadenfreude to want Portugal to do poorly because they're persisting with him? He doesn't track back. Is it a case of he's just been, if you give him the ball anywhere inside the 18-yard box, he'll finish it for you, probably better than anyone else in the tournament. But he doesn't track back. He won't defend. And in modern football at the World Cup, you can't carry a man who won't mark up and press. And so you have to think, well, if you're Portugal, you can't not pick him because everyone will hate you for it. Like when Newcastle, when Sexy Football Man dropped Shearer, they hated him for it. Ruud Gullit. Is that before your time too?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember that, but I know the story.
Yeah. And when
national football before I was born. So.
Okay, fine. Well, in case you hadn't heard the news, apparently he's a wanker with a wanker's hat.
Okay.
So, take your pick. I've got two. I've got two hats, one for each of them, if you like. If you're the Portugal man, what do? Do you start with Ronaldo? Because if you're the guy who drops him and you don't win the group and go far in the tournament, that's the end of you. But if you start him, you've got to carry a guy, and you cannot be carrying a guy in modern football who won't press, who won't defend, because you'll just get passed around and people take advantage of them. And in Colombia and DR Congo, you've got two very hard-working teams. So Yeah, and he started. He played the first half the other night for Portugal. So I think he probably will start. And, is that an opportunity? They're a great side. Of course, they've got loads of talent in midfield, of course. But is it an opportunity for an upset from Colombia or Congo against them? If they, because they're going to have to play Ronaldo. I mean, the manager is just not going to be brave enough to make that call. And if you give him the
manager is?
No, I don't. Do you?
Roberto Martinez.
Oh yeah. Well, he was responsible for the failure of that all-talented Belgian team, wasn't he?
Yeah. Also won an FA Cup with Wigan, though. So.
That was an anomaly. We hoped to repeat that the year after, and nearly did. He had a stacked team of Belgian talent and failed to get anywhere with it, and promptly lost his job, quite rightly so. So this is, I mean, I don't think that Martinez is going to drop him. You couldn't risk the killing of your reputation if you dropped him and then didn't win the group and didn't go far. People would say, will he be, if he scores in this tournament? I think it'll be this 5th tournament in a row he scored in. And I think he might have scored in more World Cups than anybody else. So he's going to start, he's going to play, he's going to score, he's going to get that record. And whatever you say about him in terms of modern football, he's not made for modern football. But what a finisher and what an athlete he is. And if you think about his history, the guy is never injured. Every major tournament, he plays for Portugal. He plays every time he's asked to play, all of the time he's asked to play. And he's probably survived so long because he doesn't run as hard as everyone else. But you've got to be impressed by that, I think.
His career, he has played over 40 games in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20... in 20 of 23 seasons he's played.
That's incredible. I mean, what an athlete.
Even the ones he hasn't is 37, 35.
I mean, the guy is just never injured. It's quite incredible. And you can be sure people are trying to kick him and foul him all over the place, but he's just never injured. It is incredible that Portugal have been able to rely on him for so long on the international stage.
1,100 games at club level, and he's played 200.
Yeah, but some of those clubs are Mickey Mouse clubs, let's be honest. It is still a huge achievement. But why doesn't he ever have a slightly damaged metatarsal? Why doesn't that happen to him? So an incredible athlete, available all the time. He's been a great servant to them. Will this World Cup be a misstep for Portugal if they continue to start him? I don't know.
Can we just very quickly, I just want to see where you are on this. Messi or Ronaldo?
Maradona.
Maradona? What, the hand of God? No. You're not getting out of that question. Who is for? Messi or Ronaldo? Who is the better player?
I've never actually had to answer this question. I think they're very different players. This is why it's a difficult choice. Ronaldo is an athlete, and in days gone by, like at Manchester United, when football was different, and before the Gingham press and before people running everywhere and lots of rotations, you didn't have to defend. And in those days, he was just a supreme athlete. I think his dribbling skills are overrated. You see some old videos, but Messi is just the supreme creator. And when we signed Lefay and I did that video and showed Messi's La Pausa, it's just incredible. I think in the modern age of football, it's got to be Messi, but they're different players. Ronaldo is just a supreme athlete, and his pace and aggression attacking the box is second to none. And that's not what Messi does in his game. They're different players. But if I had to pick, I'd pick Messi. Well, not because I'm Team Messi, but because forwards aren't the power they were 15 years ago when Ronaldo was at his peak.
I find it very irritating watching Ronaldo because I think he would rather score a hat-trick and lose 4-3.
Yes, and if you think about his career, he's never had to play for a long time now. He's never had to play for teams where you've had to work and had to defend. You go and play for Real Madrid, you've got one team, maybe two. You've got Athletic Madrid and Barcelona, who you have to work at. And this is why they go so far in the Champions League, because they play a whole bunch of other teams where they can just take their time and they can be easy about it. And so you play like that. You don't have to press and defend, and you don't have to work hard. So I think it's a bit difficult, a bit different to make those comparisons. You come to the Premier League. For many years now, he just wouldn't be good enough for the Premier League because every game you have to fight for. And this is one of the reasons why those teams go far. And Bayern Munich as well, same for them. They've such dominant forces in their leagues that they don't really have to try very hard to win most of their games. They've got a couple of games against some tough local rivals, and they can be fresh. They can rotate loads of their players and go deep in European competitions. It's a real disadvantage to us. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I love the league, and that's really mostly what I'm interested in. One more group to go then. Let's finish this. And it is Habib Diarra in Group I. And here, wow. I mean, what a way to start against the top-ranked team in the world, Senegal against France. They will take great heart from the fact that if they show resilience, like Ivory Coast the other night, they could steal a win. And France will be nervous about that. You don't want to lose the opening game. However, both of these teams will get through the group. Iraq and Norway, not very good. I know a lot of people are pumping Norway for the tournament, and they're ranked 31st, which isn't great. Iraq 57th. But I've watched a couple of Norway games recently, and they're playing terribly. They're playing really poorly. They just don't have any attacking threat at all. I don't really think Norway will get anywhere in the tournament unless they're just, taking it easy before they get there. But also, I'd love to see Norwegians playing this heat. I mean, it's just not going to happen. France, Senegal is the big game in that group. The winner of that game will almost certainly top the group. And there's some hope for Senegal. They are an aggressive side. Habib Diarra will play in the same sort of progressive midfield role. They tackle hard. But when they played the USA the other night, they were shambolic in defence and returning back. They worked hard, though. They'll work harder than France in that game. But France's bench is huge. Senegal have got a lot of good players too. So that will be an intriguing game. Can they nick the victory? I don't think so, but it's not really a worry because they'll both get through the group in 1 and 2. And that's it. I think there's a good chance all our players get through the group. Alderete for Paraguay, Wilson for Haiti, probably the ones to be careful about. And then either Adingra for Cote d'Ivoire or Angulo for Ecuador will probably go through as third. But if Haiti can beat Scotland, they will go through as third, I think. And I don't think there's anything else to worry about. We only have one player who's likely to top the group, and that is Granit Xhaka with Switzerland in Group B. So there you go. That concludes our preview of the World Cup and all of the Sunderland players that it involves. And I think that we will keep you updated as games go by. We haven't decided yet, once or twice a week as the group games go past.
Probably as the Sunderland players finish the last game of the first round. And then...
Yeah, each round. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be. I'm excited to watch it all. I've been up till all hours watching these international friendlies so that I can come to you with all this preparation for how the teams are doing and the likelihood of them playing.
Because I've been on a nice detox from watching football. But it all kicks off on Thursday, and I will be probably watching almost every single game apart from the ones that kick off at.
Yeah, detox is a bad word.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Right. Shall we just finish off very quickly? Who do you think will win it?
Oh, well, I've told you. Not necessarily. Netherlands. The Dutch are going to win. Brobbey's going to score the winner in the final, and we're going to have a superstar. It won't be Brazil. It won't be Argentina. I don't like it. I don't want it to be Spain because I hate their football. It's probably going to be France. It's probably going to be France if they can cope with the heat. No, England have got no chance. None at all. None at all.
No chance.
No chance at all. England probably go out.
No chance? I mean,
no chance at all. Have you seen who's playing in defence for England? You've seen who's playing in defence for England? Those guys wouldn't get into half the Premier League. They wouldn't get into a top 6 side in the Premier League. They got no chance in an international global competition. No.
I'm going to go England or Scotland.
I think England will probably go out in the round of 16. honestly, those defenders struggle to get into most top 6 sides. You can't win an international tournament like that.
Ezri Konsa's been very good for Aston Villa this season. Suspect he'll be starting at centre back. Nico O'Reilly, he's been very, very good for Man City, hasn't he? What you would say? Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Is he better than Hincapie? I don't think so.
He's not that far away. Mark Gay,
Well,
he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
So
Look, they are good players. They're good players. They're not good enough.
To the top 6.
Well, Dan Burns in that squad, isn't he? Livramento's in that squad.
Dan Burns and Livramento are the backup players. It'll be Reece James playing fullback. Gerald Kwanzaa has been very, very good since he's been at Bayer Leverkusen. And I know that because he kept showing up in all my searches when we were doing our transfer videos.
Yeah, but we know from his time at Liverpool that the guy is he is at home to Mr. Cock-up.
They've also got Harry Kane, who is one of the best strikers in the world.
Yes, he is. But can we win the ball in midfield and get it to him? Maybe.
I didn't know you were an England person. I thought you were Welsh.
I am, but we're not at this tournament. No, England have no chance. England have no chance. They'll go out in the round of 16, maybe the quarters.
Right, okay.
I want them to do well. Don't get me wrong. I want them to do well. I'm not one of these Celts who want England to lose everything. I want England to do well. If they get to the final, I'd be cheering them on. It'll be great. I hope they will do well. But in all honesty, I think the chances are overrated. I think the defence is not strong enough.
Semi-final wager?
They won't get to a semi-final. No.
So you're saying?
I mean, I'd be thrilled if they did.
I'm just thinking maybe we should do an Indiana Jones inspired.
Well, maybe we should get our first bet out of the way. You're not going to entice me into a bet on the prospects of the World Cup. I'll bet on Sunderland, and that's about it.
Okay. Right, we'll wrap this one up. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. We'll be back with loads of World Cup stuff as the tournament goes on, and we will see you soon.